Welcome back to the channel, guys. Before I start this deep dive, I need some assistance. So my wife and I have been married 20 plus years, been with her over 30 years. We had a disagreement and she told me I was right. What do I do? Like, never has that happened. Do I apologize? Do I say, nope, you were right? Like, what do I do there? Legit question. Kind of caught me off guard, and I figured maybe some of you married guys in the comments can help me out here. So anyway, different subject. This is VIN 3221. This is a 2020 1GO, which is smoky granite mica with LA20 black interior, popped up for sale at CarMax in Huntsville, Alabama with 63,000 miles for $52,000. That's 2016, 2017 prices, and this is a 2020. This looks like it's been a pretty much 50-50 Florida and Alabama car. The first 3 years, Florida car, last 3 years, Alabama car. Production statistics. So smoky granite mica was not available in 2016. So that was Nebula Gray Pearl, and then this smoky granite mica sort of took over and replaced that. So you could get it on a 2017 through 2020 GSF, and there's only 86 of them for the US 49. There's not very many. It is the third rarest color that was offered on these cars. Flare yellow, there's 11. Molten pearl, which there's 43, but there's only 33 that are left. And smoky granite mica, 86. 86 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49, everywhere except Hawaii. And of those, only 32 had LA20 black interior. For 2020, which is the second lowest production year, 2018 is the lowest with 169, 2020, 187 that exist, 19 of these were smoky granite mica. Of those 19, only 5 had LA20 black interior. So this car is one of 5. If you smoky granite mica, 2020, LA20 black interior, one of 5. So this car is the second to last smoky granite mica that was ever produced. However, there were about 30 or so cars after this that were still produced to the end of the line. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. Epic VIN shows this as a 5-owner, no accident car, and I don't think that's correct. I think the way it reads it, I don't put a lot of weight behind it, but like if a car is listed for sale and then pulled and maybe relisted a week later or something like that, a lot of dealers do that because they change the price or things like that. It counts that as an owner, so don't read much into that. AutoCheck shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car, so I think it is safe to assume this is a 2020 2-owner, no accident, clean title, southern driven car, Florida and Alabama. Previous sales. So this car was some of the last. It was sold in July of 2020. July 6th of 2020, $89,000 in Florida, and it sold in 5 days. A lot of the last 2020 sold pretty quickly because everybody knew that production was coming to an end. So you wanted to get, the FOMO, fear of missing out. Everybody tried to get them at the last minute, and a lot of them have remained relatively low mileage as a result because people know they were special. It's already a special car, and it's the very last of the special car. And so that's why a lot of them don't have a lot of miles. So this car having 63,000 miles is actually considered higher mileage compared to the rest of the 2020s out there. This car then popped up in July of 2023, $65,000 in Florida with 54,000 miles at a Nissan dealer. Somebody traded this in on a Nissan, and it sold in about 20 days to a buyer in Alabama who then in turn traded it in at CarMax. So CarMax paid them out, and so here it is, the beginning of April 2026, 63,000 miles, CarMax in Huntsville, Alabama. Now, $52,000, that is extremely cheap for this car, and so I'll talk about that here in the price in a little bit. First and foremost, the photos. This car, extremely well presented, but the CarMax lighting does not do smoky granite mica any favors. So if you look at the photos here, so these are edited, but it sort of brings out the actual color that you see in the sunlight. It's a really neat color in the sun. All other lighting, it just kind of looks gray. And so Nebula Gray Pearl, sort of the same way, but Nebula Gray Pearl, more gray than this car is. I don't see any paint protection film on the front, and that's pretty obvious. CarMax shows that there's a pretty deep gash or a paint chip in the hood just above the driver's side headlight. The rest of the photos, when you look at them, you can just kind of tell this car has 60,000 miles, and it's pretty apparent by the front end of it. It has some chips and things like that. Not surprised. The interior, I don't see any carbon fiber trim delamination. All the touch points look really good, so I don't see any excessive wear on the steering wheel, the seat bolsters, the armrest, anything that you touch or sit on. Everything looks pretty good, especially for 60,000 miles. I mean, it's not excessive, I guess. It looks like it's gonna need front brakes. You can see pretty clearly that there's a pretty good lip around the outside of the front rotors, indicative of they've been worn thinner. Typically when you see that, you know that you're gonna have to replace brakes, but when these cars come up for sale, they always need brakes and tires. Go into this expecting that you're gonna have to replace brakes, you're gonna have to replace tires. This car has Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, so it's good quality tire. They didn't run cheap tires on it. You know, that's kind of another giveaway. If you see Ling Long or Wind Sail or whatever the other Chinese tires are on these cars, you know that they're just trying to throw tires on so it has new tires. And this car, that's not the case here. The photos, I can't tell based on the lighting how the condition of the tires, but go into it expecting, as I said, expect to do tires. If you go look at this car, turn the tires fully one way or the other, turn the wheels fully, and look at the insides of the tires. See if you see any excessive wear. That would be indicative of needing front lower control arm bushings, an alignment, and 2 front tires. As far as the price goes, you have to take what they have currently listed for the price with a grain of salt. A couple people have called on this car already to CarMax, and they said they're waiting on the title from the lien holder. So this car had a loan on it, CarMax paid it off, and so now they're waiting to receive the title, basically. So they went ahead and prepped it and detailed it and photographed it, but they can't actually sell it yet. So anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks, and then you will see this car for sale. However, if it stays at $52,000, it's going to sell immediately. But what I've seen in the past, and one of the cars that I just did an update number 2 for a couple videos back, that car, when it was for sale prior at CarMax, it was originally listed for $35,000. And before it was actually sold, it bumped up to like $42,000 or $43,000. So you have another $7,000 or $8,000 that the price went up compared to when it originally was listed, much like this. So this car, it could potentially go up. Now, as I said, the price for a 2020, this is exceptionally low. However, when you put it on the graph, as you can see here, when you put it on the graph based on other sales of 2020s, this car is higher mileage, but it's not too far off, but it is still low. And so this car should probably be listed at another $5,000 to $8,000 higher. And I would guess more in like the $57,000 to $59,000 range would be where this car really should be listed. So that's where I would go in expecting to pay. However, if it sells at $52,000, you got yourself a smoking deal on this car. Hopefully it stays that way and somebody gets a deal. But I think based on the number of emails and messages and text messages and everything that I've had on this car is going to sell very fast. And there's a lot of people watching it. A lot of people have notifications turned on, everything. They're pre-approved for it, all of that. Like people are ready to, as soon as you get the notice, to reserve this car. And so you better be quick about it if you're interested in this car, but this would definitely be one I would be after. So now into the service history. This car is what I would call fairly well dealer serviced, but not exclusively dealer serviced. Now, with the 2020s, by the time the 2019s, 2020s came around, most of the issues had pretty much been sorted. So you had like the GPS location, that's the KLG, these cars weren't affected. The ZLZ, the sticky dash, these cars weren't affected. The humming or buzzing that you hear in the back seat, the low pressure fuel pump, these cars weren't affected. The JLB recall, the high pressure fuel pumps, these cars weren't affected. Kind of see where I'm going. So when you see what I would consider fairly low mile example, 60,000 miles, it's basically just brakes, tires, and oil changes. And that's pretty typical for a 2020. So we'll skip past basically the first 40,000 miles because that's all it really was oil changes, air filters, cabin filters, etc. First entry of note is October of 2022 at 40,000 miles. So that's 23,000 miles ago. Front brake pads and rotors and 2 rear tires. That's the last time the front brakes and the rear tires have been changed on this car. So that tells me that, the tires you get 20, 30,000 miles out of, the front brakes you get 20, 30,000 miles out of. You can see the front lip on the front brakes in the photos. It needs front brakes and it probably needs rear tires. So again, kind of jives with everything. These cars always need brakes and tires. this car needs brakes and tires. January of 2023, 45,000 miles to front tires. So at that point, now you've got 18,000 miles on the front tires. So you can probably squeak out another 5 to 8,000 miles or so on the front tires, maybe even a little bit longer, but basically needs 4 new tires and front brakes. At 50,000 miles in April of 2023, the rear brakes were done. So the rear brakes you typically get 40 to 50,000 miles out of. Here it is at 50,000 miles, getting the rear brakes done for the first time. So this car, rear brakes are fine. You have a little bit of life, probably 2/3 of the life still to go, but it needs front brakes, needs rear tires, and probably needs front tires. And the last service, November of 2025, at 61,500 miles, so like 1,500 miles ago, an oil change. So it doesn't even need an oil change. So what's not done? The big one, of course, is a 60,000 mile service. This car is past that, so it's due. Spark plugs, brake fluid, the in-depth inspection, hoses, belts, like to look at all of that, to inspect seals and drive shafts and things like that. It's just sort of an in-depth inspection plus spark plugs and brake fluid. This car needs that. The TVD, torque vectoring differential, and the transmission have not ever been serviced of record, basically. So basically go into it assuming that it hasn't been done, and you need to do that. So Lexus tells you that both of those are lifetime fluids. You're always supposed to inspect the fluid each of the service intervals, the 30,000, 60,000, 100,000, 120,000, whatever, but it doesn't actually say to change it. Now, that's a bunch of BS. There's no such thing as a lifetime fluid, especially in a high performance car. So most of the people typically stick with either 30 or 60,000 mile intervals for the TVD and the transmission. So 60,000 miles on this car, just stick with 60,000 miles. When you buy this car, get it done and it's sorted. That's what I would do. The only other big thing that affects the 17s through the 20s is the shocks, the adaptive damping shocks. Some of them leaked when they were brand new. Some of them made it to 70 or 80,000 miles before they started leaking. But this car, none of them have been replaced at the dealer. And they're not overly expensive compared to the rest of things on this car to replace, but the part wasn't updated until like 2021 or 2022. So even the early ones that had it replaced early on, they were replaced with the exact same part, and so they would leak again. So if you saw a replacement in like 2023 or 2024, like, all right, those are the new shocks. But this car, as far as I can tell, they're all original. So look at the shocks very carefully, make sure they're not leaking, or go into it expecting to replace the shocks as well. That's really it. You could probably go another 5,000+ miles and be just fine, not have to do a thing. It's already had an oil change even, but front brakes, rear tires, and soon front tires, and then do the 60,000 mile service, the transmission and the diff service. That's it. So compared to a lot of the other ones that come up on the market, this doesn't need a whole lot. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? Absolutely. You already knew my answer for that. This car has all green flags, just needs a little bit of catching up on service, brakes and tires like they always need. But the price, if it stays at $52,000, this is a steal of a deal. And I already know, I don't even have to wonder. I know the second that this car becomes available from CarMax, it will be reserved. There are so many people that have messaged me and talked to me about this that are ready to pull the trigger on this one and kind of wanted my thoughts on it, and I already gave it to them, and it's basically got a pretty clean bill of health. It's ready to go. So that being said, yes, I would buy this car, and you should buy this car too. This is one of the good ones. As time goes on, there are so many basket cases out there, or ones that just need a ton of money sunk into them, and this isn't one of those. This one needs a few $1,000s, but tires, go get some new Michelins. It's like $1,400, $1,500 for those. Brakes, you can do it yourself with OEM Brembo parts off of Rock Auto if you want to go that route, and that's like $600. If you go to the dealer, it's like $2,000 to $3,000 for brakes. So how do you want to do it? But the transmission service, you can either DIY that, not very difficult, or you can do it at the dealer for $500 or $600 or so. And the diff, it's a couple $100s to do that. So I think that depending on what route you want to go, DIY, dealer, independent mechanic, something like that, that it doesn't need a whole lot to get it up to where everything's just good to go. 60,000 mile service too, forgot about that. But yeah, it definitely has the makings of a great one, and I think it will sell very quickly. And if you did buy this, comment on this video and let me know that you bought it, or shoot me an email. My email is always at the end of the videos. But yeah, it definitely looks like a great one. Smoky granite mica is such a cool color, And Google Smoky Granite Mica 1GO Lexus or Toyota paint color, and you can see other examples. But it's a really cool looking color, especially in the sunlight. Has a really cool gold flake in it, and just makes it kind of special. So anyway, that's what I've got for you. I feel like I'm rambling on. 3221. And don't forget in the comments, my original dilemma that I had at the beginning of the video. Tell me what I need to do because I'm kind of at a loss there. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.